Uh, I totally didn't forget to go live. Who told you that? Definitely not me. Nope. I'm way too smart for that. Where the fuck are my glasses? God damn it. I can't get my act together today. God, I have no idea where my glasses are. Are they on my head? What the fuck did I do? Oh, Wolfie, now you've done it. Now you've really fucking done it. Where the fuck? What do we do? Well, your phone's right there. All the good that'll do, yeah? You bloody idiot. What the fuck have you done? Oh. 1 second, chat. I could have sworn I put them in front of the computer. But I didn't because I don't see them. Unless by some joke you did exactly that. And I do not see them. Anyway. Which honestly wouldn't be the dumbest ever thing that we've done. What did I do? What the fuck did you do? Oh my god. Ugh. My glasses were on the floor. Okay. I think we might finally be ready to stream. Crazy, I know. Ugh. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just dumb. I'm dumb and I want to be smart when I grow up. I really want to be smart when I grow up. But it's never gonna happen. It's too late. I'm stuck in this stupid. Alright. Hold on. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay. So, let me get the audio up. And then we'll be ready to start. Oh my god. This has got to be the roughest, bro, same. This has got to be the roughest start to stream I've had in, like, the recent, I was about to say the recent future. The recent past. Microsoft Edge has been updated. Cry me a fucking river. I don't fucking care. There we go. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Here we go. We did it, chat. We started stream. Crickets? Oh, hell yeah. I love the sound of crickets. I wish there was a cicada option. I would have that on all the time. Katydids as well. Alright, Sassy, what kind of stories you up for tonight? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? I haven't gotten to send you your shit back yet. I'm sorry about that. I should... It'll either be in the mail tomorrow, if tomorrow isn't a fucking crazy day. Or I'll get it in the mail by Monday, and you should have it definitely by the end of next week. I am cognizant that, like... Yeah, I got you one, but you probably still want, like, yours, because you're the one who picked it out and shit, so, like... I feel you. It is coming back. It's no rush? Okay. Because this week has just been a little crazy. Mom has needed a bit more help than I realized, I guess. I don't know. Mom has been a wee bit of a handful. But that's okay. I read Charles Dickens's Mr. Cricket for a second, and I don't really know how the fuck my brain did that. I have questions, but I don't know if I'll ever get any answers. Knowing my brain, probably not. Alright, what do we want to read? Got my little wax melty thing on. Good. Got some projects you've been working on. Your coworker actually took your shift off your hands so you can work on them? Actually just taking a break now? You're down for whatever, really. Oh, good luck on the projects. Definitely good luck on the projects. Why are my headphones so big on me? There's no reason for this. There's none. Alright. Let's do some werewolf stuff. It's a full moon. I helped you with one of them. Oh, right! Oh, good luck. I hope they turn out good. Alright, let's see here. Let's do Full Moon Hearth to start with, by Barb Hendy. I don't know what's in these. I'm hoping no more fish porn, because I'm never going to live that one down. It's probably one of the funniest moments in my streaming history is when that shit happened. I remember standing in the middle of our old fir trees in the summer, breathing in the warm evening air, and wishing dusk would go on forever. There was a lily-checkered frog pond behind our house, and I loved to lean against a tree, listen to the frog songs, and think about my day as the sun went down. I heard Raymond's booted feet coming down the path, but I gazed out at the fading light and pretended not to. "Lisa," his voice sounded behind me. "Come on, it's getting late." Unable to remain deaf, I turned to meet him. His face tense, his overalls dusty from the new set of shelves he'd been sanding for the Shermans. "Sorry," I whispered. "I'm coming." Tonight was just another full moon. I figured that as time passed and I grew up, it wouldn't bother me so much. But I was 17 and Raymond was 28. Oof. Phone. I understand. I didn't ask for comment, though. Raymond was 28, and these nights never seemed to get any easier. We never seemed to feel any different. The songs of frogs and crickets brought little comfort, and I felt guilty, because Raymond had to come looking for me. A tiny piece of me wanted to hold his hand, but I didn't. He wouldn't want to be touched until tomorrow morning. "You keep the door locked," he whispered, "and don't open it for nobody." It's another fucking scam text. Has anyone else been getting texts that their Amazon account has been locked? Like, that are clearly fraudulent? Like, have you been getting a stupid number of them? Like, all the fucking time? Like, 3 this week. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure it's not just me. Some fuck, probably. Yeah, alright. "You keep the door locked," he whispered, "and don't open it for nobody." You say the same thing every month. Don't I always lock it? We reached the cabin, and I felt the same odd longing to touch him. His face melted into a tight mask of pain and fear. A thin trickle of sweat slid down his forehead as he backed away. "Just keep it locked. I'll see you in the morning." Is it bad? Some nights were worse than others. Yeah, it's gonna be bad this time. Get in the house. Without watching him leave, I slipped into the cabin, secured the deadbolt, and dropped a 2x4 into metal brackets that made the front door impassable from the outside. Ray had started the evening fire as usual, but I hadn't cooked any supper. He never ate on wolf nights, made him nauseous. I went into the kitchen to hunt up some bread and cheese. We called this place a cabin, but it was really just a fixed-up shack, not a dump. The inside had a comfortable rustic look. Raymond was the very best carpenter in Watauga County, and his talents had salvaged our poor old house. I peered out the window. The darkening forest lay empty. Once when I was little, I had told him that the growling and sniffing sounds at dusk frightened me. His face had gone white, and he'd made it a fanatical habit to get as far from the house as possible before changing. Those nights were lonely. Good thing they only happened once or twice a month. I took my cold dinner back to Ray's rocking chair, covered my legs with an Afghan, and stared into yellow, crackling depths of the fire. Abrasive red brick made the flames seem brighter, and I didn't bother turning on any lights. The place had been my home since the age of 7. We had run from South Dakota to Idaho 10 years earlier. A nightmare ride of silence. Our father had once been a professor of English literature. I should probably have a better idea of what really happened, but I was so young and the pictures in my head are hazy. My mother abandoned us when I was 2. My father consumed enough alcohol to ruin his career. None of that mattered to my welfare, though, since Raymond took care of me. He cooked my meals, washed my clothes, and braided my hair. I made my first trip to kindergarten with his hand wrapped around mine. Teachers never called or held conferences with my dad, just with Raymond. It didn't seem strange to me, but like I said, I was only 7 when we left. The wolf night started with a hunting trip. Ray and 2 of his friends saved extra money for a year to drive over to Montana in October. Since Dad couldn't be trusted to care for me alone, Ray took me to Fat Aunt Lily's. Standing on the porch, I begged him not to leave. "Just be a week," he said, through a faint smile. I waited for him quietly. My sense of time was vague, but I do remember crying myself to sleep one night after he'd been gone for what seemed like months. Finally, my aunt sat me on a chair, her dirty face disgusted. She wasn't wearing nylons, and the varicose veins in her legs bulged out like green and purple plums. "Your brother's had an accident. That's why I've been burdened with you for the past few weeks." "Weeks? How long was that?" But of course I didn't ask. Aunt Lily was a firm believer that children should be rarely seen and never heard. "He's in a hospital in Montana, but I spoke with him this morning, and he'll be home to get you in a few days." Watching the flab roll down her enormous legs, I gathered my courage and whispered, "What happened to him?" "He was attacked by some animal in those hills. That's what happened. You could be sure he's going to pay for the extra food you've eaten, too. Don't know why I let myself get talked into this in the first place. Should have let that drunken father of yours own up to his responsibilities." Wow, what a fucking bitch. I started to cry softly. There we go, Sassy's with me. Great minds think alike. Jinx indeed. I started to cry softly, and she sent me to my room. God, no one knows how to parent in this fucking story except for the one person who isn't a parent. My young, unformed mind pictured wild animals tearing Raymond apart. I couldn't sleep or stop shaking. A few days later, Aunt Lily's voice rose to the ceiling, shouting curse words that I wasn't supposed to hear, and I ran out to see Ray in her living room. He looked pale and had large white bandages wrapped around his throat and left arm. "You're home!" I ran to him, knowing that all was right with the world now that he was back. He gave Aunt Lily some money and we left. I suppose things were normal from that moment on until the first full moon. Waking in the middle of the night, I heard my father's terrified screams. Violent crashing sounds made me pull the covers over my head, and the little nightlight Ray had brought for me flickered through the blanket as the walls shook. Growling and roaring echoed through our house, but I lay still as stone, waiting for Raymond. When the sounds ceased, I decided to make a run for his bedroom and dashed toward my door. A sickly smell hit me when I reached the hallway, but I kept running. Finding nothing but torn covers on his empty bed, I began crying and stumbled out into the kitchen. It was red. The floor, walls, and counters were bright red, and what was left of my father's body lay in a heap under the table. The back door had been torn off its hinges. I don't remember any more until the next morning. Lisa grabbed my neck. Raymond whispered in a hoarse voice, The room was just getting light, but I couldn't seem to wake up. His strong arms lifted me, and the sweat from his body smeared on the side of my face. His breath smelled like vomit. "Where are we going?" "Shh, sweetie," he murmured. "We gotta go for a drive." He laid me down on the seat of his dented Chevy pickup and ran around to the driver's side. I rolled over to pull his hunting jacket off the cab floor. "The kitchen's all red." He didn't answer me. It was so long ago. By the time I was 17, my full moon nights passed peacefully, sitting on the rockers, staring at the fire and remembering. The house was always so still, only the clock on the mantel making any sound at all. As usual, I rocked until the fire burned low, and then fell asleep in his chair. I woke the next morning to the sound of Raymond retching outside my window. Still dressed from the night before, I unbarred the door and ran around the back of the house. He was naked, crawling on the dirt, gagging on his own bile. "Lisa." Looking up from the ground in agony, he tried to reach out for me and collapsed into convulsions. Dropping to my knees, I tilted his head up to make sure his windpipe stayed clear. He'd been right the night before. I hadn't seen him this sick in nearly a year. "Try and get your arm around me." "Oh, try and get your arm around me." He did try, but I had to drag him toward the house. I'm not a frail woman, but Ray is 6'2", and my head reaches his chin. Years of stacking wood and carrying water had strengthened my arms. After pulling him through the front door, I didn't bother taking him to his bed, but laid him on the couch. This was a familiar scene, my part well rehearsed. "It'll be all right." I got a towel and bowl of water to wash his face and a bucket for him to throw up in. His body was racking, so I covered him with an Afghan for comfort's sake. "Rinse out your mouth," I murmured, holding a glass of cold water to his lips. He managed to sip a little and swish it around his mouth before spitting into the bucket. He lay back and seemed to calm down. "Better?" He nodded, but his teeth were still clicking together. Picking up the wet towel, I washed his face and chest. This was the only time we ever touched each other. In his helplessness, he clung to me, not having any other choice. "Can you breathe? Are the cramps easing?" My questions memorized, mechanical. Managing a nod, he lifted his hands into view. "Is there any blood?" "No." He had almost pathological fear of hurting something during blackouts, and always made me inspect him for blood. Sometimes I washed it away before he gained coherence and lied to him. "You're going to be down for a couple days, Raymond. Should I drive out to Sherman's and tell them their shelves won't be done till the weekend?" "Wait till later." He curled down against a pillow. "Let me get some sleep and see how I feel tonight." "Sure. Do you want some tea?" "No, I'm tired." He rolled over onto his stomach. His muscle spasms were growing less frequent, and I knelt down beside him to rub his back. "The worst is over. Just close your eyes." 20 minutes later, he was resting on his own, so I decided to get on with my work. Since we were late into the summer, I'd planned to spend the day putting up applesauce? Putting up applesauce? Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. I changed into an old cotton skirt and sweater, rewove my hair into a heavy braid, and went out into the barn. We used our barn for odd things, since farm animals weren't an option. I had an obsession with firewood. Stacks and stacks of it covered our barn walls. once in a while in deep winter. He sold it to townspeople, but not often. Between the woods sat baskets of apples and pears from the orchard. Dre's workshop was in the very back. When we first arrived in Idaho, he worked for Mr. Sherman's logging outfit. It was strange luck that brought us to Harold Sherman, a man of large heart and few questions. Our shack belonged to him. When he found out that Raymond had a 7-year-old sister and we were both living in a truck, he brought us to our little home. The rent was supposed to come out of Raymond's wages, but we never saw any change in his paycheck. The shack had holes in the roof, and our first winter was hard with no insulation and only the fireplace for heat. Raymond spent the first few weeks frantically reinforcing the shutters and screwing new bolts into the doors. I was too young to understand why. After that, he used extra money to buy carpenter's tools, planes, routers, sanders, a lathe, and a good table saw. For some reason, people in small towns feel like homemade anything is better than what you buy in stores. Within a year, Raymond quit his logging job and went to work as a full-time carpenter. He enrolled me in school, and we lost ourselves in the rustic town of Deary, Idaho. Raymond tracked down and kept a newspaper clipping of our father's death. The coroner's reports stated he'd been killed by an animal. We were simply declared missing, and I think the police might even have spent some time looking for us in Dakota. Ray hadn't killed anyone since then. We lived 5 miles from town, and the few missing farm animals were chalked up to wolves. I guess that was half right. But the older Raymond grew, the more reclusive he became, and he didn't allow other kids to visit our home. When I was 10, he let me go to a birthday party, against his better judgment, for a girl in my class named Natalie. 2 sisters and a set of laughing parents carried her in a flaming pink cake. I definitely read that wrong. 2 sisters and a set of laughing parents carried in her flaming pink cake, while everyone else sang. My shock at their matching furniture and nuclear relationship had been profound. How come Natalie has a mother and father and 2 sisters and we only have each other? I asked Raymond on the way home. He didn't answer me, but his jaw twitched, and he never let me go to any other party. As time passed, one of our favorite hobbies became book collecting. Jack London filled the back of my eyelids with dreams, and Raymond escaped into the world of Dick Francis mystery novels. Sharing our adventures became important, so we took turns reading our books aloud by the fire. One night, when I was about 15, I finished chapter 6 of White Fang, and his brows knitted. Why do you keep reading me stories about wolves? His question threw me. I don't know. You read me books about racetracks. That's different. I'm sorry, Ray, I'll get another one. No, it's all right. I just wondered why. My gaze turned toward the fire. The men are all so close to their dogs. Why can't we get a dog? Because I would kill it. You don't know that. You could lock it in the house with me. Yeah, and what if it started barking on a full moon night? What if I heard it and tore the house apart trying to get in? I sighed. We could get a kitten? He stared at the flames in silence. Raymond, everyone has pets. A little kitten isn't going to change anything. Cats are quiet. 2 weeks later, he drove up with a baby lamb in the back of his truck. We'll try something in the barn first. Give me some boards and my hammer. I'm going to have to reinforce the doors. The white animal on the truck bed bleated. and I ran to hold her instead of getting the boards. Her soft wool curled around my fingers like angel hair at Christmas. I wanted to throw my arms around Ray and thank him, but I knew better. We dubbed the lamb Topsy because she fell down a lot. Even Raymond began to like her presence as she roamed around the dusty yard in an effort to follow him. We only had her for a month. About 1 in the morning on the next full moon, I heard snarling while he tore the barn apart, and covered my ears when she began to bleat. The next morning, I found him sobbing and vomiting on the barn floor. We never found her body, but 1 cord of wood was covered in an ugly red smatter. Ray almost never got angry, but he turned his head toward me and managed to yell, "Did you hear it?" "No," I lied. "It must have been so quick she couldn't have even known what happened." He buried his face in his arms and wouldn't look at me. I blamed myself for having pushed him and never asked for another pet. I wish it had ended with Topsy's death, but it didn't. He stopped talking and often just sat by the fire in silence. I'd seen him like that before. His depression hit him from time to time. Usually he snapped out of it on his own, but this dark mood went on until I walked in one afternoon and found him staring down the barrel of his .357 Magnum. I didn't know if normal bullets would kill him or not, but blowing his own head off seemed to me like it would do the job. "Well's going dry," I said, ignoring the gun. "You ought to haul some spring water up in the truck." He looked at me in a daze, put the gun down, and left. I went to make dinner as the truck started, my chest constricting in panic. Talking wouldn't do any good. Raymond and I never talked about any of it. Our conversations were limited to reality at hand. I dug under the sink for some potatoes and looked around my cramped kitchen. A fleeting thought struck me. When he came back, I wandered outside to help him unload the buckets. "How come I'm living with a carpenter and still don't have a decent pantry?" "Huh?" He kind of grunted with what appeared to be surprise. "I'm shoving potatoes under the sink. My dish shelves are full of canned tomatoes and there's no place to keep the flour. Why can't we build a pantry onto the kitchen?" His face clouded for a moment and he put the last bucket down. "Well, I might be able to add something in the back door." This was the first time he'd spoken in days. "I'll take a look," he finished. The idea caught his interest. He brought home some lumber and paint, and I held a measuring tape, some boards for him. By the end of the week, he was whistling again, and the gun was back in his bedroom drawer. Which is not... okay. PSA from Wolfie. That is not a safe place to store your gun. For multiple reasons. The most primary of which is sorry, chat. The more things to do there are between you and the gun decreases the probability of you actually unlocking the safe, like loading the bullets into the gun. Like, it's a whole process. The more steps there are between point A and point B, the less likely there is to have, like, a suicide attempt, to be blunt. Also, like, accidents and, like, people stealing it, and just, like, you don't keep a gun in a bedroom drawer. You just don't do it, man. This is like gun safety 101, dude. Now, don't get me wrong, I think guns are cool. But, like, you gotta be more responsible than that, man. You can't be doing that shit. Anyway, our new addition was actually quite nice compared to the rest of the shack. Maybe we should paint the cabin so it all matches, he suggested. I'd given him a smile for an answer, and we left for town to buy more paint. Our barn was filled with memories for me, but on that day, I planned to make applesauce. It seemed to speak, even more than usual, about the tales of our past. I filled my bucket with large green apples and wandered back to the house. Raymond slept quietly for most of the morning, crying out only once in a while with bad dreams. On the morning of the next full moon, we got early to run a few errands. Raymond had agreed to make new cabinets for the local shopkeeper named Charlie Bedford, and we drove into Deary because Charlie had ordered some special light-toned oak for the job. You have Thunder Kitty. As we'd entered the shop, I spotted Josh and Reuben Trotter. Both were dime store hoods and high school dropouts to boot. I couldn't stand either of them. "Morning, Charlie," Raymond said. "Came by to pick up the oak." "Sorry, Ray, it ain't come in yet, but it's due this afternoon. Maybe I could run it by your place tonight?" I glanced up in alarm. Today would turn into a wolf night. Raymond just shook his head. "I'm going out of town for a few days. I'll just pick it up when I get back." Charlie nodded. "Sure, but I got your down payment here. Better take it before I forget it and spend it on something else." "Thanks." Raymond shoved the bills into his pocket without counting them. "I'll probably see you on Wednesday." Josh Trotter was watching the whole exchange with poorly hidden interest on his grease-stained face. I wanted to leave. "Bye, Lisa," he said, smiling sarcastically. "Nice talking to you." Raymond glared at him, and he shut up. September sun shone brightly in the rearview mirror all the way home. Ray was in a good mood for a wolf night, and he chatted to me about the brass handles he'd planned to fit for Charlie's cabinets. Almost everyone gave Ray a partial payment in advance, because he took his time on tiny details and his work was so extraordinary. He spent the rest of the day chopping firewood for winter, and I weeded out our garden even though all but squash and pumpkins had been harvested. By dusk, he'd checked the doors and shutters 6 times. "After I leave, you be sure and lock the doors," I finished for him. "I know. Just do it." Perspiration was beginning to run down his hair, and I could tell he was getting dizzy. "You'd better go." "Yeah. I'll see you in the morning." He slipped away, and I felt that familiar empty pang of longing shoot through my stomach. Now I only suffered from worry and loneliness, though. When I was a child, those nights had been a confusing living hell. I walked to the window and watched him disappear, hoping he wouldn't lose his clothes this time. Once I suggested he just get undressed and leave them here, but that idea didn't go over too well. After cutting up an apple, I made some coffee and went to the rocking chair. No memories came to mind, so I finished my apple and picked up a James McKenna novel. The night wore on and the fire burned low. I was dozing in my chair when the soft click of an engine shutting off turned my eyelids open. No other sound followed, but I moved to the window and peered out through the shutter. At first, the yard looked empty. Then 2 forms passed close by and I heard voices. "I told you he was lying. His truck's right there." "Well, maybe he's got a car we don't know about. You heard him tell old Charlie he wasn't going to be home tonight." "Why would he lie about that?" "'Cause he don't like nobody out here. Look how he treats Lisa. He don't let anyone near her." "Well, the place looks dead to me. I'd say we start in the barn. Probably where he keeps his tools and stuff." It was Josh and Reuben Trotter. I didn't know what to do. Raymond's carpentry equipment was about to go for a long ride. Those tools represented years of hard work on his part. They were our livelihood. If I let them be stolen, he'd have to go back to logging again. Moving quietly into Raymond's bedroom, I pulled the gun from his drawer and made sure it was loaded. The steel felt cold in my hand. If I just stayed in the house, Josh and Reuben would never get past the barricaded door. If they managed to tear a shutter off or break a window, I'd have a clear shot at the first one through. But I couldn't wait for that. That had to be stopped before leaving the barn. What if they simply took off with Raymond's tools? I slipped out into the cooling night air, dry lawn crunching beneath my feet. The barn door stood open. They'd been stupid enough to turn the light on. God, look at all this stuff. No wonder old man Charlie's paying him so much. Reuben's voice. I moved in and pointed the gun toward a sound. Don't, I ordered. He whirled in panic and stared down the barrel. Too late, I realized I hadn't waited long enough to listen to where Josh was. Reuben was an insect. Josh was an animal. Lisa, Reuben gasped. I wasn't hurting anything. You ain't supposed to be here. He was alone. Where's Josh? Right here. A voice whispered behind me as a hand shot over my shoulder and grabbed the wrist holding the gun. I tried to jerk the gun up, but his arm seemed to be all over me. Then the wooden floor rushed up. Before I could even think, he had the barrel in my face. Stop it, he hissed. Where's your brother? In the house with a shotgun, I spat back. Yeah, sure. He sent you out here alone? I don't think so. Why don't you go in and look? I was scared. They were going to take everything we had. Raymond wasn't there to stop them. I tried not to think about what Josh might do to me. Leave her alone, Reuben cried. He might still be here. Shut up. Josh pulled me to my feet. We'll just go see who's in the house, he whispered. You stay out in front of me. The dust kicked as he dragged me into the front yard. I knew I didn't have much time. Josh was a lowlife, but he wasn't stupid. It would take him about 3 seconds to figure out that Ray wasn't really in the house. The front door kept growing closer. My mind was casting about in desperate directions, like elbowing him in the chest and taking a bullet, when a soft growling sound echoed from the shadows beside the cabin. A dark form flashed out, impacting with my shoulder. I remember dirt in my hand and Josh's scream. The porch light gleamed in my eyes as I turned to the struggle beside me. A huge furred form had Josh pinned to the ground. Its heated panting and his gasps pounded in my ears. I watched the horrified realization dawn on Josh's face as it slowly and purposefully put its fanged mouth around his throat and ripped out his jugular, as if it wanted him to know he was going to die. I scrambled away from both of them. Josh stopped gasping. His head lay at an unnatural angle, a dark stain spreading into the dirt around him. His killer was now staring at me. I knew who it was and didn't move. For some reason I had expected him to be different from an actual wolf that he'd been walking upright, half man, half animal, but he wasn't like that. He just looked like an enormous wolf. Soft muzzle dripping with liquid amber. Nope. Soft muzzle, dripping liquid. Amber eyes gone mad. He turned to worried Josh's dead body for a few minutes, ignoring me, then loped toward the barn. Reuben, run! I shouted, but it was too late. I covered my ears to screen the sound and huddled in the dirt. Some time later, a large sniffing made me look up. Raymond was moving freely about the yard. In a macabre sense, he was beautiful. No mutation or disfigurement. just a thick gray coat and a massive chest. His diamond-shaped eyes rested on me, and then he looked toward the house. I wanted to cry in despair. The front door was open. Crossing the dark space quickly, he trotted inside and left me staring at Josh's dead face. I suppose I should have wondered why he hadn't killed me, but the thought of what would happen tomorrow morning filled my head. Poor Raymond. I'd have to hide his gun. They weren't worth it, either one of them. The moon was still bright, and I had a few hours till dawn. We always kept a spare key to the truck in one of the barn's cabinets. I went to get it and to find Reuben. His body lay in plain view next to the table saw, but I had to look a while before finding his head near a pear basket. Its all flesh had been gnawed down to the bone, near the base of the skull. Only a little congealed blood remained since the open wound had been licked clean. I carried or dragged the separate pieces of him out to our truck, grunting and straining, until he was loaded. And then I did the same for Josh. My last requirement was a sharp-edged shovel. Those Idaho forests were vast and deep. No one would ever find out what happened in our front yard on that full moon night in September. Besides me, the only ones who could remember were dead. And a few hours later, I came back numb. Our yard was dark and silent, with only a few patches of telltale blood for me to clean up. Using buckets and water to dilute the red, I decided to leave the barn alone and let Raymond think he'd run some wild animal down and cornered it in there. It happened once or twice before. My true dilemma came when I finished getting rid of the mess. Funny how I never let myself think of them as people. The front door was still half jarred open, and the wolf was still probably prowling around the house. Sleeping in the barn was the only option for a sane person. Not even letting myself think, I walked up to the cabin and looked in. What I saw didn't surprise me. His great body lay resting quietly by the fire. He lifted his head when I reached the doorway, and he growled softly. "Shh, Raymond, it's just me." He stared for a moment and then turned back to the fire. Orange lights flickered off the plywood walls. Faint crackling of low burned embers made the only sound in the world. I stepped in without taking my eyes off him. Right then, I didn't care if he killed me. For 10 years, I'd been living with a mystery that had slowed my life. For all his fears about keeping the locked doors between us, I don't think I ever believed he'd hurt me. Somewhere buried in the wolf, Raymond still lived and breathed. Sitting down on the couch, I pulled my boots off and went to wash my hands, ignoring him on purpose. I behaved as though he belonged there. When I came back to the living room, he raised his head and whined. I went to him and sat down on the floor. His low growl kept me still for a moment, studying him. His large head rested on his wide paws, and his massive size seemed to be the only true unusual aspect. Reaching out slowly, I laid my hand on his back and scratched gently. He turned and looked directly into my eyes. Not human, not animal, he was somehow more than both. I stretched out on the floor beside him and ran my hand up to his velvet head. His muscles relaxed, and he rolled over to push his back into my chest and stomach. This was all he wanted. All he ever wanted. To come inside and lie by the fire. No blood or cold, dark forests. Just warmth and shelter like all of us. And after all these years, he'd come home. I got up once to lock the door and get a blanket, then curled up next to him and tried to sleep. No more lonely wolf nights. This place would be lying on the floor next to me. And all the affection that couldn't be lavished on Raymond was his, because he would take it. My future had been set for a long time. No marriage or children were ahead for Raymond or me. We had no one but each other, and both of us denied the empty starvation turning us into husks. But that was over now. Now someone was mine. The next morning I woke quickly when his convulsions started. His transformation should be private. I had no right to stay and watch. Hiding in my bedroom, I listened to fuzzy, muted groans until I heard a human voice coughing. Lisa. He was kneeling on the floor by the fireplace, horror and panic contorting his face. I ran to him. Why am I in the house? He stumbled up. His body seemed thin and pale in the cold morning light, and I noticed he wasn't vomiting. Lisa, what am I doing in the house? I pulled the blanket up around his shoulders. You should lie down on the couch. How did I get inside the house? I dropped my gaze and whispered calmly. I let you in. Why would you? How could you? His voice grew hysterical. Oh God, don't you understand? You saw what I did to Dad, and you still don't understand? I don't remember anything that happens. I can't remember anything I've done. You didn't love Dad. That's a stupid thing to say right now. No. I mean, you'd never do anything to me. You just stayed by the fire all night. You aren't as sick as usual, are you? What? He snapped. You aren't sick because you didn't eat anything wolves eat. I tried not to think about the skin on Reuben's head. You just laid here by the fire. I let you in again next month if you leave the house. No. His expression changed to rage. How do you think I'd feel if I woke up and found you in 4 pieces, huh? Good morning, Raymond. You let me sleep on the floor next to you. I suddenly crouched down, pushing my face into my knees. You never think about me. You just black out and wake up sick. I'm the one who sits alone, wondering, picturing if you're dead in a ditch somewhere. All the anger from the past 10 years came bubbling up and poured out. You never talked to me. You never let me have friends, or go to dances, or movies like anyone else. I trailed off, fighting tears. He stared at me in a stunned silence. Lisa. He looked down at his own pale body. Stay here. He went into his room and came back wearing a pair of Levi's. Running a hand through his thick hair, he sighed. I don't know what to say. You know I can't change anything. Lost for expression, I simply said, I need you to be in the house. He dropped down beside me. What if I hurt you? I shook my head slowly. You won't. I know you won't. The years passed as years do. Days seem to slide one into the other, until you wake up and find thin streaks of silver in your hair, and your hands have grown brown and wrinkled. I sit in our rocker now on wolf nights, because the floor has grown too hard for my old bones. Our house is peaceful, and I feel we've lived a good life. Across the room by the fire lies a massive wolf with his head on his paws. His chest is smattered with white, and he has long since grown too old to hunt. It's strange, but an odd contentment filled Raymond after the wolf began to spend his hours inside with me. Calm that reflected in them both. No one ever found out about Josh and Reuben Trotter. They sleep in the wet ground somewhere down the road. They're a tribute, a sacrifice to the warmth and fire of our hearth. Okay, that was a sweet story. Chat, are you still alive? Any requests? Any, suggestions? That was more pleasant than I expected. Yeah. It was unexpectedly, like, wholesome. You know? Like, I don't know. It was just wholesome. I guess all a lot of us really want is just somewhere to curl up. Am I still alive? Unfortunately, probably will be most of the night. I can keep it going. Let's see. Where do I want to go next? Sorry, I'm still looking. Hold on. Looking for something easy because my throat... Well, Sassy, I had surprise story time last night because Nier Automata decided to just be story time for an hour. And then none of it saved, so I have to do it again. So my throat's a little tired still. It's been a while. It's been a long day. Let's see. I really like the werewolf ones. But let's try something else. You know what I've realized? Well, no, let's not do Count Dracula. God damn it, the Company of Wolves is one of them. Oh, God, no, I don't want to. I want to do those ones when I have more energy. Let's see. Alright, let's try this book. I'm just looking for, like, short things that are easy. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, wait, no, these are long as fuck. Never mind. God damn it. Ah, shit. Let's see. God, I'm lazy on this. I'm sorry. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Or I could just beat it and play Inscription. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just having choice paralysis. I have too many choices. Alright. Let's see. Fucking, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh no, it's gonna be long as fuck as well. God damn it. Ah, shit. Okay. Ah, crap. Dude, I have no idea. Okay, let's try from this book. Here. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm so sorry. I am still tired of reading from yesterday, it seems. Let me try to find a few just short ones. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to do any of these well. But October is soon, so we're gonna be going all out on this shit at some point. So there's plenty to look forward to. I'm not gonna end stream, Sassy. Don't worry about that. I'm just for some reason I'm just really washed out and I'm having My throat fucking hurts. I guess I've been talking a lot today. I don't know. There's so many good stories. I just don't have the energy to do them right now. I have such a good anthology of shit. Allow me to reiterate. Oh no. Whatever you're gonna do. Okay, good. You're okay with literally anything? Alright, so I think we're gonna switch to Inscription because I'm just tired. Yeah, I'm just... Yeah, we'll have more spooks soon. I just... Not tonight, it seems. Alright. Let me switch over. Let me get everything situated. We got an hour of spooks in. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. We did things. Granted, the first 5 minutes of the stream was me misplacing my glasses and just generally being an idiot. But, like, we got there eventually. Oh! Oh. I already don't remember what I was gonna say. Shit. Alright, let's go. Oh, the moon water's naked. Oh, shit. Moon water, no! Be dressed. At least, kind of. There we go. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. You're gonna start playing ads, aren't you? Stop that shit, no one asked. Oh yeah, my voice is hoarse as fuck. I just heard it. God damn, how does anyone listen to me? I sound like a friggin' frog. Oh yeah, my voice is gonna be fucked tomorrow. Yeah, that explains it. I still hear night's fucking sugar. I want to speak. Inscription starts with an I, right? Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do do do. Okay, good. Let me do things. There we go. Oh fuck, I did things wrong. Great. Hi Sassy. Yes, I know. There we go. Yes, good. Doop, doop. Alright. Let's see what we're doing here. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Bell dude's not bad. The Kingfisher's not good. Oh god, no, why? No, we're gonna get the rabbit. I dislike that I don't know what I dislike about it. I didn't really have a choice. The coyote's a fucking problem. You're not gonna help me much. Oh, fuck, you were flying anyway. It didn't fucking matter. Oh, thank you, rabbit. Oh, remind me to hate you twice as much as usual. Oh, this is what they call in the business problems. Is that gonna be enough? Yes, it might actually be enough. Cool. I think I want to do there. You really hate me, don't you? Gee, do you have any better options? Yeah. Alright. Well, I definitely don't want to combine those. Oh, Lord knows this is gonna go terribly wrong. So that's 4 right out the gate, which is not a terrible way to start. You're gonna be a dick to me. This bell dude is coming in clutch. I like your sigil, but if I draw you in my hand, you're gonna... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We all know what happens when I see a Lambo. Okay. So... I do not like how you only have 1 health. That's a bit of a fucking problem. You don't hit that hard. Okay. Oh, that's problematic. Okay. You know what? That works out. Ow. That sucks a bit more. Mm-hmm. You see, that's what we in the business like to call a misplay. Maybe not. That might not have been a misplay after all. I might lose this. You aren't as helpful as you were. One, two, three. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, me too. Let's see if we can beef up the dudes that we have. Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, that's gonna be a problem. It would be great if you were a bit more of a heavy hitter. I'm not gonna push that though. Alright, the deer absolutely needs to be beefier. 100%. I don't think this is the run, Sassy. Okay, you don't die from that, but that's fine. I'm gonna lose you anyway. Kingfisher's not the worst thing. I wonder what happens. Oh, fuck. I mean, there's no reason not to just farm bones here. Except for the obvious fact that I don't have infinite squirrels. It's less of a concern. Oh, I lose the kingfisher anyway. Alright, that's fine. Alright. grab the geck. Put this fucker down. I'm actually gonna let this guy. Ow. Let him marinate for a minute. Gonna get rid of you. I don't even realize I have that shit. Alright, we're good. I'm actually mildly surprised that I won that one. So many bones. Oh man, that, oh boy. I believe the new probably. Yeah. I don't want another item. I should just go this way. I believe in you probably. That is very fair. I don't need 2 Lammergeiers. That's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, I have no one exceptionally good. You, maybe. Yeah, alright. This is probably the best way to go. I'd like to finish my totem. I could have a really good totem. Okay. Who's a fucking problem? You're a fucking problem. Let's get rid of you. Well, I'm just gonna gum up this whole process. We're just gonna keep doing that. There's literally no pressure to do anything else. Dumbass thumbs. That's okay, mine are no smarter. Our best bet is to combine. I need more cheap things. So... I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll probably sacrifice the Kingfisher. Well, the Kingfisher could be good. I'd have to think about who to sack. Alright. Who is going to be a problem? You're gonna be a problem. Fuck. Oh, that was very, very much not what I was hoping was going to happen with that. I should have gummed that up while I had the chance. Oh, I forgot that was my plan. I entirely forgot that I planned to do that until I did it. This is gonna go wrong. How badly is it gonna go wrong? Both of you are going to evolve. You can attack right off the bat and you can block. Oh, but I just fed you a point then, because you're gonna kill that. Yeah, that was not the smartest move I could have made. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of you. That's fine. That hurts, but is not devastating. That might be. Yeah, this pack rat's not going to be able to withstand that. Okay. We're getting a good amount of bones. We have a shot at Ken. Okay. Don't know if that was the smartest move. How many reptiles do I have? I have a few. Of no insects. It's better than nothing. Alright, so this is the trapper. I mean, right off. Let's do that. He's gonna hit again too. Which is not super cash money of him. I hate this. I don't like it. Part is, I know I'm being stingy. Method to the madness here. Good lord, that was a lot of bones. You see, having the magpie isn't the worst thing ever. Having a second Lammergeier also isn't bad. I can see it fucking me over, though. Gonna go for the magpie. Lambos are expensive. It's free. They sure are. Yes, yes, indeed. Alright, so where's the annoying version? I hopefully didn't make you mad. I don't think he can get mad at me. Alright, that's not great. I don't like that. But we're gonna play it out. Oh man, you're really... Oh, you're really not helpful, are you? Oh yeah, no, we're not getting out of that one alive. I need a better totem. I wish I had a better totem. That's interesting, but I like this. Squirrel. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Oh, this is concerning. Thank you. God damn it, no! Ah. Alright, we'll do one more, Sassy. We had such a good thing going, too. Fuck me. This doesn't look like Spooks. Yo, Edged, I got tired. Sorry. What are you doing up? It's late for you, isn't it? We did Spooks earlier. Now we're winding down. So... This is unapologetic. This is geck laundering. Got home a little less than an hour ago, trying to find something on YouTube to fall asleep watching. Well, I exist. Oh, this thing is gonna kick the shit out of me. I don't know. He didn't get to. Bird? Bird! objectively, this is probably a good idea, but strengthening the Gek could also be very cool. If I turn one of your videos, you'll want to stay up and watch. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, what? Wait. Alright. Alright, so let me just kill you before you leave. Not you, Edgehead. I don't know if that was obvious. Alright, so you're gonna be kind of a dick, but that's fine. We may as well start bone laundering. Do, 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 do. Can you kill me before I leave? I mean, if you really want me to, I could try. Ooh. That could be fun. No dying. Dying is absolutely forbidden. Okay. Yeah, alright, so this is interesting. I need something else. Literally anything else. Oh god, that sucks for me. Ah, rabbit, no. I'm running out of shit. Oh god, why? Oh, that was exactly what I didn't need. That was precisely what I did not need. Okay, good. I could combine, but I have like no cards, so that's not a good idea. Do you have anything else? Yeah. I don't like that, but I'll do it. I did nothing. Except I said as I kicked it a second time. There we go. Yeah, alright. Stronger, you say. I mean, I may as well have the cuckoo put in mad work, but... I don't know. Wow, you still want to strengthen something. If you have to, I guess do this. Okay, you guys don't even stack that soon, huh? There's something funny about that to me, but... Oh god, I needed to do exactly not that. Yeah, try that then. That's fine. That's according to Keikaku. I'm getting very concerned about the amount of shit that I've got left, though. That's fine. You know, now is as good a time as any to buy a Lambo, I guess. Yeah, we're just gonna... There we go. I don't know, I'm just picking random shit. We could do the Gek. I mean, this is so overkill. Sparrow. Okay. I definitely want to go in this direction, because I want the Bone God. Yeah, look at the frog. Bones, because we're doing a pretty bony deck here. This could be problematic. Who do we hate the most? Probably you. Okay. I might have been wrong about that, but... Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Having a beefy cuckoo actually helps a lot. Blood, attack. Well, sigils we have. We've got sigils for days. Okay. Oh, wow. That's cool. This is a no-brainer. Okay, right off the bat, who do we not want to deal with? Don't want to deal with this fuck. That's fine. Interesting. Okay, so we have a lot of cheap fellows. I kind of like our cheap fellows, though. Opposing creatures also provide bones when perishing. How bone greedy do I want to be? I think defense is not a bad thing. We don't have a billion reptiles, but we have enough reptiles for that to be potentially helpful. Well, okay. Who do we want to deal with the least? This feels like a sin. Okay. Oh my god, okay. We have a very big deck now. Well, not very. We just draw a lot of the same cards a lot of the time. We're gonna have a ludicrous number of bones, though. That might have been unwise. I'm actually gonna slap down the boulder there. You know what? I'm actually kind of cool with that. trying to be very careful how I do this. I don't even need to do anything. I have so many items, I don't even know what to do. I mean, the Rat King is not good. The Beehive is also not great, but it exists. My one fear is the one time I don't draw the Gek is when I'm gonna get fucked in the ass, so I should probably get a second one. Bloodhound is not a bad call. The only thing is I'm a little concerned that you're gonna fuck up the sigil. And if you fuck up the sigil, then we're gonna have problems. I guess we're gonna have problems. Alright. Alright. Who else do we have doubles of? I don't want to combine my Gex, but I might have to. We'll see what you give me. Sigils easily, I can win that. Yeah, we're fine. Oh god. Okay. That's disappointing. I can try you. Oh. Well, fucking don't mind if I do. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You're just gonna cause problems for me. This is... This is an amazing example of bone trafficking. I don't actually want to do that, but I will do. Oh my god. At this point, I'm doing it for style points. This is ridiculous. Do you have anything else? I'll take the Rattler just to give it away. Could also get rid of the beehive. The beehive might have use one day. That's not friendly looking. Okay. Alright, so right off the bat, let's get the sparrow up in this bitch. I can't really... Can't really say I'm opposed to that. No, I'm just gonna let it be. Oh my god. This with the items is getting a little crazy, I will say. Maybe this is not a bad totem after all. The wolf is a good damage dealer. A beefy geck now. Take a gag. God, this deck is so lol random. Now this is where I'm afraid of bullshit. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna do that shit preemptively. I'm gonna grab another one. I'm just gonna cover my ass here. And you're gonna hurt. That's fine. It's not great. I'm getting increasingly concerned because I'm not drawing what I need to be drawing. I do need to do that. Oh, that's death. That's so frustrating. Of course, the one time I don't pull the Gek, that's... That's really unlucky. But there, I think, is where I will call it. Because I'm tired. My voice is getting tired, too. But thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Always appreciated. Remember, take care of yourselves. Keep your firearms in a place that is safe. And remember, do not eat or drink any questionable substances. Make smart decisions, do not die. Dying is absolutely forbidden, and I will see all. Have wonderful people. At a later time. Does my chat box not show up? I guess it doesn't. I wonder when that stopped working. Anyway. Take care, guys.